morning. I'm going to use the Tarot of the Divine. This is a brand new deck. It's absolutely stunning, but I don't know it as well as some of the other decks, so bear with me on that one. Hopefully some of you will be able to join me for this. All right, let's see where we're going. I'll just give them a bit of a shuffle. Hopefully the background noise isn't too annoying. I do have a dishwasher going and a washing machine, but life goes on even when you're on holidays, right? Okay, let's see what's going on in the what's cracking world. Well, this is lovely because we start off here with the Emperor, which is always beautiful. The Emperor is the divine masculine. This particular person at his best can be a little bit in control, a little bit charged. He likes to have his way with things. He's very intelligent, he's knowledgeable, he's well educated, and he deserves the right to be that way. But when he's in the upright, he is probably a really incredible person to know. If he's reversed, sometimes he can be a little over the top, a little controlling, and a little bit difficult to deal with. But the energy from this morning is very nice. It's sort of like this standing in your power energy. I do have the Ace of Coins coming through. See how beautiful these cards are? They actually a really nice texture too. I've never felt cards like this, so that's pretty exciting. The Ace of Coins or Ace of Pentacles talks about a brand new start in regards to money. Now, for some of you, this could be somebody coming in to help you launch a business, to help you get something up and running. It could be somebody offering you a new job. Could also be somebody offering you an opportunity rather than paid work too. So something definitely happening here. Sort of, I feel very businessy. Hey Gigi, how you going? All right, so I have the Chariot coming through again. So two major arcanas coming through representing Aries and Cancer here. So these could be significant. The Chariot is a card of forward movement, but it does depend on whether you've got everything in the right place, because as you know, the two horses, sphinxes, dragons, whatever's pulling the chariot can often be working in opposition to each other. So the Chariot talks about getting your ducks in a row, I guess. It could be ducks. And getting them moving forward. So there is definitely forward movement here for some of you. Now, I do have the Lovers card here, which is, hey Elizabeth, the Lovers card here. So for some of you, this could be a love reading. I do have the Five of Cups behind that, so I'm just going to have a quick sneak peek because it didn't feel like love. I'm feeling like perhaps you're dealing with someone here who there could be a love connection with, who also is maybe backing you or partnering you on some sort of project here. Whoever this is ready to come forward. There's no doubt about that at all. The Lovers card talks about two people divinely brought together. There is quite a lot of major arcana going on here. How are you, Jill? So I want to say to you, there's something really significant about this partnership, because I feel like it sort of is a love relationship or a love connection, but I feel like you may be destined to build something with this person. Hello, Sam, how you going? You may be destined to build something with this person. So I feel like whoever this is coming in, you may have a love connection with them, but I feel like they're going to help you move forward on something here. I do have the Five of Cups here and the Queen of Wands coming through. So for some of you, it could be a family member. Hey, how are you, Lotus Blossom? Sarah, yes, thank you. It could be a family member, it could be a mother figure, it could be a father figure coming through. I'm not going to discount them because there is a love connection here. But with the Lovers, although the Lovers card does talk of choice, it really does sort of talk about two people being divinely brought together. I feel like whoever this person you're dealing with is, they're very fiery and they're very passionate about something they want to build with you, whether that is a relationship or whether it is to do with a business or both. It's very possible that this person and you may have had some sort of disconnection at some stage or another. So you may have known this person for a while, but there's been a disconnection. Good morning, along the way. So I feel like whoever this is possibly coming back in, especially with that Emperor card, meaning that they've most likely got themselves into a better place to offer something. But I do feel that this person is offering you both love and some sort of business deal. Now you can't see the cards now. You're going to have to look at my face the whole time. So good luck with that. All right, so let's see where we're going. All right, so I have the Two of Wands coming through. Isn't it beautiful? Beautiful card. Hey, Melissa, how you going? There is some sort of opportunity for you to go in a new direction. I guess the path has always been there for you, but the timing is right now to open this path up. So there's some sort of divine energy coming through here, but something is opening up for you. As I said, for some of you, I feel like you can feel this energy coming through. Let me just go a little bit further. Look at this, 9 of Cups, 9 of Coins. I told you I didn't know the deck very well. I am having a great time, thanks, Sarah. It's been very peaceful because I was doing a lot of driving. What did I work out? 15, 18 hours of driving or something to get here. So, because I detoured to catch up with people, which was awesome. But yesterday I sort of took it fairly easy, caught up on a few readings, and today the weather looks really good. It rained yesterday. All right, so we have 2 of Wands with the 9 of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune coming through with the Page of Cups. Somebody wants to make a love offer. There's nothing surer here. I feel like whoever you're dealing with here is feeling really, for that 9 of Pentacles, feeling ready to make something come true here, some sort of wish come true. The Wheel of Fortune is here, which sort of makes me feel like this person may have got some sort of download from the universe. There's some sort of big healing come in. I feel like this person has shifted on their pathway with this 2 of Wands. So it may be somebody who was moving in a different direction to you, who now is trying to align perhaps with you. Because there's definitely this energy. Let me just go a little further. 3 of Coins coming through with the King of Pentacles. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, 5 of Swords here. Somebody has been very conflicted about this particular situation. They may have pulled away from you. You may be dealing with someone who's in a relationship here. But I feel like there's a real strong soul contract between you. This person could be starting to consider something that they weren't considering before. I feel like the universe has opened them up to something. For some of you, this person may have pulled apart from something else, another relationship or situation. King of Pentacles tells me you could have been dealing with someone who was married or committed. Whoever this person is that's coming towards you has... I know. I feel the same way, Sarah. Whoever this person is, though, feels to me like the divine sort of got in there a little bit and perhaps given them some sort of glimpse. At the moment, dreams, I'm not dreaming, and I don't not dream. Hey, Melanie, how you going? I dream all the time, and the last probably week I've had no dreams, which is really unusual for me. So I feel like I'm really being primed for something. Something big is coming and I'm being primed. So I know that. I do feel for a lot of the people that you're dealing with, and possibly yourselves too, we've sort of gone through that hiatus and that period of pause, of wait and see, where we've all been sort of feeling a little bit like we're walking in mud or things are really slow. I feel like things are going to pick up speed really quickly. And once they pick up speed, you will be really pushed forward on your pathway. I feel that many of you now, you're going to get a lot of downloads now we've got through this period. But I feel like this is someone who may be coming in to support you on your journey. So it has a very sort of strong twin flame energy coming through on this reading. So some other people are saying dreams not happening. I know it's really weird, isn't it, when you're a dreamer? So my dreams are vivid. I have very well-developed dreams. I can smell, eat, taste, read. I can do all of those things in my dreams. My dreams are very lucid, very broad. And I learn a lot from my dreams, and I haven't been dreaming. So I'm not really sure what that means, but I know it's meaning something. I can feel it. All right, let's keep going here. Page of Swords, 5 of Wands. Somebody's worried about conflict here. Somebody is worried. 6 of Coins. Somebody wants to invest here. Somebody wants to invest, but I feel like there's a great deal of stress, worry, or concern about either. If you haven't met this person, which for some of you, you may not have done. I feel like the next wave of twin flames is coming through. We're seeing a lot of younger people working through these energies now. If you haven't met your person yet, I feel like your person is very nervous about coming forward. I feel like whoever this person is that I'm speaking about either had some sort of separation from you that may have created some distress. But I feel this person was maybe a little oblivious to the connection, and may have got quite frightened by the energies that were coming through here. And they may have pulled away very rapidly. So you may have had someone who ghosted, but I feel that whoever this was really, I almost want to say, freaked out by what was going on. This person wants to come back in. There could be some sort of explanation behind that. I think the person has realized or has understood from the progression they've done on their journey. So they may have a very strong explanation here. Whoever this person is wants to build with you now, in a beautiful way. And I feel like it's just not the love. There feels to me like something else you have to achieve. How are you, Sandy? Absolutely. You know what? You always go with the new person. You never sit around and wait. Never take me as saying to sit around and wait. Oh my goodness, never do that. If someone's pulled away from you or something's broken down, you move on with your life the best way you know how. If that means getting out there and having fun, you know, enjoying yourself, don't waste a moment. Don't waste a moment. You never do that for somebody else. Even if you still have strong feelings for them, even if you can still feel the energy that's pulling you in the background, you still need to move on with your life and you still need to invest in yourself. This is the most important lesson that comes from these relationships, is how to build yourself up. Hey Heather, how you going? Because a lot of the time, the energy or the draw or whatever else to the person is very strong. There's a very strong connection. Sometimes it means that the connection can't be completely torn apart or cut apart. You can do a lot of things to try and sever the ties, but that's really hard. And sometimes, I mean, I speak to people who, yeah, absolutely, Melanie. I speak to people who've been carrying around people for many, many years. So you don't want to be sitting there for 20 years waiting for somebody to realize your value. It's just not a good thing to do. But I know for most people, it's quite a difficult connection, especially if you've built something fairly substantial before you've sort of realize that you've got things you need to sort out. There are a lot of triggers there. There's a lot of energy of needing to heal things. So yeah, keep living, keep healing. It's hard. Yes, I agree, Sarah. It's not an easy thing, but it's worth it. That's what I want to say to you. It's worth it. If you're not sitting around feeling sorry for yourself, which you're allowed to do for a period of time, we all go into our little bit of a victim mentality and feel sorry for ourselves. It triggers a lot, so there's a lot of healing to be done. If you deny yourself that healing, if you deny yourself that self-love, it will take a long time for you to get where you need to be, even to meet someone new. And if you try to rush out and do it too quickly, beautiful. Yes, Melissa, that's a really good way to say it too. If you rush out and try to move things along quickly, if you try to push them into your way of thinking, if you try to convince someone that you have a very strong soul connection when they're not ready, when you're not ready, it's disastrous. So you have to just understand the healing starts with you. And we know that the healing that we do helps other people on their journey too. So it's a very important healing that you go through. And even when you're quite highly spiritually developed, which I consider myself to be, it's still a lot of healing. You've still got a lot of stuff you need to let go of, you know, a lot of energies that you've been hanging on to, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of a lot of beating yourself up, a lot of feeling like you got it wrong, a lot of family healing. Oh my goodness, it just keeps going. But once you get to a certain point where you realize that your love for yourself is so strong that you don't need to have something with somebody else to feel good about yourself, then you're nearly there. You're nearly there. So absolutely, Melanie, you don't rush. You never rush any sort of relationship. And if people want to rush you, they want to get you into bed, they want to get you married, they want to get you locked down, then there's an issue. It's not normal, especially if someone tells you they're in love with you after a few weeks. Like, that is really hard. Yes, absolutely, Sarah. It goes right through your family. You're responsible for healing a whole generation of people back. You're responsible for doing that. And once you sort of get to that energy, then you start bringing your own downloads in, because your energy is clear. Spirit can really bring you in the energy that you need to go on your path with. I don't even know I mean, I could talk about this for hours, but the day you wake up and you feel that you will always be okay, that everything is going to always work out the way you need to, that there's no need to focus on what can go wrong, or if it goes wrong, there's the focus on it's easy to fix. How could you bring in the right person? You always work on yourself. If you're vibrating where you need to be, you will always be in the right person. But take it from me, you will still bring in people who aren't good for you, because when you start to shine your light, when you start to become the best possible version of yourself, you start to become very attractive to people who want your energy. I want to share something with you that I shared with somebody yesterday, which blew me away. There are a lot of people in this world who want your light. They want your light. They don't want to be themselves. They want to be you. They are somewhat maybe narcissists. They may have narcissistic tendencies. They may have very low self-esteem. They may never done any self-work. And what happens is when people see your light shining, they feel the draw towards you because they know you can heal what they need healing. Okay, so they will come toward you for that reason, to somehow make themselves feel better about themselves. They generally come up when you first meet them as being very attentive, showing you all the things you need to see, making you feel that you've met the person of your dreams. They will show you a world that is full of all the beautiful things you want to have in your world. That's the mask they wear. So they're often referred to as wolves in sheep's clothing. They come to you like moths to a flame. But what they are, I call them single white females. Not always females, of course, but they want your energy. Okay, so absolutely, Melissa, beautifully said. But the one thing that blew me away this week, hey Jules, how you going? The one thing that blew me away this week, that made me break down into tears and cry, because it was a really big wake-up call for me, and I got it this week. I was watching something and the person said that when somebody reflects back to you what you want to see in someone else, it's because they know who you are and they want to show you how to fall in love. So a narcissist, for example, will reflect back to you, you. They will reflect you back to you. And you fall in love with you in the other person. So when I heard that, I went, okay, if somebody's reflecting me back to me and I'm falling in love with me, what does that say about me? Does it not say that I'm worth falling in love with? And it blew me away. It was the first time I've ever stopped and gone, wow, that was really so full of impact, like impacted me so greatly, to think that somebody wanted to be me so that I would fall in love with me, which says to me I'm worth falling in love with. It was so profound. It was really deep, but I'd never really thought about that before. I knew narcissists reflect back to you certain things so that you feel attached, so you feel that you can be with them. They do that very quickly. They show you the fairy tale. You fall in love with the fairy tale and then you're sort of boomed. You're too late, because when you realize and the mask comes off, you're like, I met this person and they loved everything about me. They loved going to the movies. They loved going out for dinner. How come all of a sudden this person doesn't want to do all those things? But it's a mask. So it's really, really important that you recognize that if somebody wants to move a relationship quickly, it's more likely because they want your light. They want to be you. They want to be like you. They want to model themselves on you. They think you are going to save them. But we can't fix people. It goes even deeper. I'd always thought of the idea of vampires after reading the Celestine prophecies many, many years ago, but it's deeper than that. These people want to be you. And if you're going, have a good day, Melissa. If they want to be you, what does that say to you? This is what you've got to remember. What does it say to you about yourself if somebody wants to be you? That means that you are shining your light so brightly, that you are so beautiful, that this person wants to be you. So yes, you have to clear away everything around you. And it's even more than jealousy. This person wants to be you. But then when they realize later down the track they're not, and their self-esteem starts to pull them back out, then they realize you can't save them. Hey Maria, how you going? So the one thing that really came across to me is, how many times do we look at ourselves and say, this is how fantastic I am. This is how beautiful I am. This is what I have to offer the world. How are you, Lynn? This is what I have to offer the world. Because what I'm seeing here is somebody who's coming in who wants to build with you. This isn't a person that's here to steal your light. It isn't a person who wants to take from you. It's a person that knows your value. This person has done the work. They're coming up here in this status. So this person knows your value. They want to be with you. They see you as something incredibly beautiful. How do you know the difference? All right, so how do you pick up someone? Okay, there's always the thing in amongst everything, which are red flags, all right? So I want to talk just a little bit about that. When you meet someone and they seem to tick all your boxes, that sounds really good, but it's not really. You want someone, when you meet them, to have their own things that they like to do, and they need to be sort of very engaged with the things they want to do. You both need some of independence in your relationship. A relationship is not about being joined at the hip. It's about you still having your own things, right? So the first thing is when you first date, and you can pick some people up on the first date. Sometimes it will take 2 dates, 3 dates, and sometimes a little bit more. So always red flags are so important. Google them. Have a look. Richard Grannon talks about some of these things. Really good to pick up on. The Spartan Coach, his name, his website is, his YouTube. But you can pick up on red flags. Now, I used to do this thing where I'd feel the red flag. I feel a little bit of a discomfort in my stomach, but I'd sort of fluff over it. I'd think, oh, it's not that bad. But red flags are really dangerous. So be always aware of what red flags are. Now, some people can put on a really good front on a first date, and you may not pick up on those, or you may excuse them without realizing, but you will still have that feeling within you. You will still have that energy of something doesn't feel right here. And the ground's shaking. I've got a ground shake going on. Something doesn't feel right. And if you've got the feeling that something doesn't feel right, you need to make sure you're in your observer mode. Don't get caught up in the emotion of a relationship. Because sometimes what you do is you meet somebody and they feel so good, you've almost got yourself married and 5 children down the track with them. Don't go into that energy. You are there to observe. So you watch everything they do, everything they say. You're looking for incongruence, like things that don't quite fit right. So if somebody's saying one thing, but the energy that they're giving off is saying something different, take note of all those things. If a person wants to really push after the first date, I feel like saying to you, If somebody says, I'd like to see you again, when can I see you again? I think that's a very healthy response for a date. If somebody's like, what are you doing tomorrow? Would you like to go out somewhere tomorrow? Probably give it a little bit of time. Take it slowly. I feel like for most of you, you need to have, and I think the average time is like about 5 to 8 dates to really make a decision. So you're watching for everything in those times. Always make sure you get the person to do a variety of things, right? So if the first date's coffee and the second date's dinner, you choose the third date. Tell them where you'd like to go. Tell them what you want to do and see how you go with that. Because if you're dealing with someone who finds it difficult to give in to you, they will find some way to get you thinking about things differently. See if a person can manipulate, observe all the time. If you say on the, for the third date, let me plan something, I'd really like to go, I don't know, let's go to the beach. And the person says, oh, I really don't like the beach, I don't like this, I don't like that. Then perhaps start thinking about how are they manipulating that. Because really and truly, if they turn around to you and said that they would like to go to the beach and you didn't want to go to the beach, you might find a practical reason, but you won't manipulate to get your own way. There's a difference. So always 5 to 8 dates before you start really thinking the person is who they say they are. If they, I had a guy the other day who told me he'd call me between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. And I didn't get a call in the 7:30 to 8 o'clock. And I waited till 10 past 8 and then I cut him off. And someone said, wow, that's really harsh. I'm like, if he's going to treat me that way and I haven't even had a first date, how's he going to treat me further down the track? So it's little things like that's a red flag right there. So if you say half an hour and you can't flick a text to someone to say I'm a little bit late, then yeah, absolutely, Jules, that's perfect. Go with the feel. Sarah, dating yourself is perfect. That's why I'm on holidays at the moment. I did my first holiday on my own, oh golly, maybe about 6 or 7 years ago now. And I came to this very place. Then I came here again about 2 years ago, nursing a broken heart because I'd been really hurt by something and I needed to recalibrate. And then this time around, it's almost, this is a different one for me. And I came this time and I went, I really loved this place up until now. It's been so amazing, but it's like I've done the trip now. I've done the trek. I don't need to come back anymore. So it's like I'm completing something. So, but back to red flags. So make sure you know all the red flags. Give yourself 5 to 8 dates before you start really marrying yourself off and thinking about having children. Watch your emotions. Emotions are so important because we're always taught that we have to use our heart, we have to love everybody and all that sort of stuff, which is so not right. Because when you meet somebody like this, putting your heart on the line and being too vulnerable can sometimes land you in a lot of difficult energies. Hey Erin, how are you going? I left the other ones at home. These are my travel glasses, the Hilfiger glasses, Tommy Hilfiger ones. So just remember that you are interviewing, not dating. That's the best way to look at it. That's what I've found over the years. It's about interviewing. So you're looking at the person, you're trying to make sure that they're telling the truth. Hey Sean, how you going? That they are really being accurate with you, that you don't feel uncomfortable. And if at any time that you're with someone, you feel uncomfortable or you feel something isn't quite right, trust that. Trust that. But red flags are really, really big to start off with. People's hands touching while passing the salt. Yeah. So a narcissist will like to have contact. Watch that one. If you don't feel comfortable, do not kiss, do not shake hands, might be okay. But I think that it's been really good with COVID because we've had to sort of avoid that stuff. So, hey Lisa, how you going? So yeah, red flags big. Observing, not absorbing. Observing, not absorbing, big one for me. They are the main things. On top of that, draw it out for as long as you can. If somebody likes you enough, they will stay around, I promise you. If they push, if they try to put pressure on you, if they try to get you to move too quickly, red flags. Danger, Will Robinson. Red flags, all right? So take it easy. Have fun. Oh, that's really hard if you appreciate someone or you fall. It's really tough if you fall in love with someone and they're not really reciprocating. I guess at the end of the day, you have to accept that that person may not be... Nice one, Erica. You know, like at the end of the day, the unrequited love, yeah. If you fall in love with someone and they can't be with you for whatever reason, you just have to get up and move on with your life. But what you have to understand, see, this is why I hate the word rejection, because the first thing we think of is that that person's rejected us, and that means we're taking it personally. So never feel rejected. If somebody doesn't want to be with you, it's because either they don't feel the same affection or whatever for you, they've got other things perhaps in their life that's going on, but it's never a reflection on you, ever. Never a reflection on your good heart. So invest in yourself. That's the way to go. Always invest in yourself. The rejection thing is such a hard word, because if you've been a person who's grown up that's had a really tough upbringing, very often abandonment and attachment become a part of who you are. So I'd like to talk about that a lot more, but it's quite deep and quite difficult to sort of plow through. But basically, tips on loving yourself. Yes, I should get into that one, Joan. How are you, my darling? I feel really, really strongly that when somebody pushes you aside for whatever reason, the triggers that come up from your childhood and your early years are very potent, and they're very strong, and they really hurt. And so we just get something clarified for ourselves, which is what sort of happens in those situations. So, for example, if you've had parents who haven't loved you in a way that was good for you, if you've had a lot of pushing aside by family members or people when you were younger, and you've had what you perceive as rejection, and then as an adult you feel rejected, you're thrown into all of that complex PTSD or PTSD that you experience as a young person. So what starts to happen is you start to process all of those years of what would seem, I should talk about that. Let me do some more. Oh, Tamika, how you going? Sending you love too. It's beautiful that you're all on here. How fabulous. I'm so glad I did this. Let me come on tomorrow. Let's talk about childhood trauma tomorrow, and some of the healing that needs to happen. Let's talk about that tomorrow when I come on, because I feel like for many of you that have been through this sort of, you're welcome, and thank you for joining me. Let's talk about it tomorrow, because I feel like for some of you this will help you on the journey. Understanding your childhood conditioning, yes, Queen of Water. But also understanding your responses and your own triggers. And the one thing that's really important here to understand is narcissistic people know how to use those triggers with you. So they know what triggers you, and they will use them to upset you, but they also keep you bound to them by using those. So we'll talk about those tomorrow. You're welcome, Joanne. But I need to let you go. We've been on for over half an hour, so hopefully this uploads properly. This reading was absolutely beautiful. I'm going to, whoever's coming in for you here has done their healing. So there's a good chance this person's been through exactly the same as you. They may have had, all right, let's do some of these. Everything's been triggering you. Yeah, then you probably are really starting to heal, Lisa. Because the triggers are, once you start to recognize your triggers, it's such a big step in your advancement. It's wonderful. Oh, you're welcome, Joan. You're very welcome. And that's what I said. You start to, that thing I said earlier, if you all missed it, I think I'm going to tell you it now. I'm going to tell you again. Somebody came up on a show and they said, when somebody wants to possess you or own you or be with you so desperately, a narcissistic sort of personality. And don't forget, not everybody has narcissistic personality disorder. Some people just have narcissistic tendencies. They're very damaged. And they see your light and they want to be you. They want to be with you. They want to be a part of you. They want to own you. They want to possess you because you look so good to them. They want to be who you are. And what they do is they pretend to be you. That's how they hook you in. They pretend to be you by reflecting back to you the things that you want to see. What makes that so powerful is if somebody is reflecting back to you who you are and you're falling in love with that reflection, then you must realize how incredible you are. Thanks, Jeanette. So they mirror back to you, but it goes deeper than that. Because what does that say to you? You are falling in love with yourself. You are falling in love with yourself. Now, if you ever missed your value or your beauty or everything that you are, that is when it reflects. This person wants to be you. You are worth falling in love with. Childhood trauma is detectable to narcissists, just the same as people target people for other reasons too. It's their vulnerabilities. And there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable, and you can certainly be vulnerable right from the beginning with someone, but how vulnerable is the answer? All right, I'm going to pull your card, Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. And we have the Keeper of the Scales coming through here. Oh, I know, it's really hard because they're only putting on a mask. So they can only pretend to be you for a short while. But sort of things that you will start to see with the red flags is you will start to sort of look at that person and think, when I met them, they liked everything the same as me. They liked going to the movies, they liked going out for dinner, they liked going for the beach, and now they don't want to do any of those things. It's because they were pretending to be you. The Keeper of the Scales, card 38. There's another 8. Everything's got 8s in it this morning, which is obviously very important for you. All right, let's read this because this will give you a little bit more. Spirit animal, how you going? Moira, how are you? All right, the law of harmony is enacted when the Keeper of the Scales comes to you as an ally. Align with her, as the law states, making conscious choices that create balance in your life. When you do, you also magically align with the abundance of the universe and the powerful forces of synchronicity. This creates conditions and possibilities that lead to the fulfillment of your highest intentions. Harmony begins with the self and then resonates outwards to others. You are in harmony with yourself when you nurture yourself with love, respect, and acceptance, always fully taking responsibility for your actions. Only then can you be in harmony with others. This is because love is the central force that connects all of life and aligns you with like-minded others. Another message is restoration and the positive, fair resolution in all disputes, including those involving the legal system or other important exchanges. The Keeper of the Scales is a just and kind ally, always making sure balance is activated on your path. That is saying to me that starting by loving yourself brings in balance. It will bring in balance to your relationships. So you always invest in yourself first, always, no matter what. You are the person you need to invest in. And there's no argument. You can't argue with me on that. Even if you've got somebody around you who's unwell, needs your care and attention, you've got children dependent on you, if you are not 100% invested in yourself, you cannot be the best possible version of something for that person. So thank you, Karen. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I'll come back tomorrow and we'll talk a little bit around the dysfunction of childhood. I think I want to call that. So let's talk a little bit about that tomorrow. Mwah! Take care. Much love. There you go, Moira, beautiful. I always say that to everyone too. I'll see you tomorrow.